Hey y'all, it's your girl Rai Rozay, and you are now tuned in to the Miseducation of Gen Z podcast. Class is in session. Hey guys, welcome back to the Miseducation of Gen Z. Today, first, before we even dive into what we're talking about today, I wanted to do a little bit of a mental health check-in. I'm doing pretty okay today. As you can see, I'm giving comfortable chic. I wanted to come in here and be comfortable. I got the headphones on because that's what I felt comfortable doing today. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty good week. It wasn't that bad. I was tired. I'm always tired, but I was a little less tired and exhausted than I feel like I've been feeling as of lately. Like last week, if you ask me how I felt last week, I was not having it. I was drained. Like my social battery, everything was at like 10% or less. Like it wasn't good. But today I'm feeling good. It's Saturday. Yay, it's Saturday. And I don't have work today, so hallelujah. And yeah, it's a pretty good day. I can't complain. And I'm excited to be here and recording. So there's that too. But today, based on how I was feeling last week and how I've been feeling a lot lately in general, and I've noticed a lot of people have been bringing up this topic online. I thought, why not bring it up with y'all? I've noticed a lot of people have been crashing out on the internet about how life kind of feels like a never-ending loop. Y'all know the episode of SpongeBob where Squidward finally gets into his own place with his own people, and he loves it at first, and then it just feels like miserable, and he just looks sad, and he's not fucking with it. That's how I've been feeling lately. Like it just feels like a never-ending loop of the same shit over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, fuck, this is it? But a lot of people have been crashing out on the internet lately talking about how, niggas go to work 9 to 5, then they get home and they basically got to get ready for the next day to do it all over again. And you don't really get no time for yourself. The 9 to 5 corporate culture really boggles my mind. I don't fuck with it. Obviously, I love being employed, having a job. I'm very thankful and grateful to have a job, of course. But 9 to 5 culture is such a weird concept. Like you work 5 days a week. For a regular standard job, you work 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and you get 2 days to yourself. But really and truly, you only get one whole day to yourself. I mean, unless you just make the most of all 24 hours in 2 days, which, I probably should start doing. But for me, it's like, okay, I go to work 9 to 5, I come home, and I basically get ready for the next day up until Friday. And Friday, at that point, when I get off work, I don't really want to do anything. I want to be in my house. And then Saturday comes and I try to make the most of Saturday, but then Sunday comes. And Sunday is really like preparation for the upcoming week. It doesn't really feel like a rest day. It's supposed to be, but it doesn't really feel like a rest day to me. It really just feels like, oh shit, I got work tomorrow. And you're dreading the feeling of going to work tomorrow. And I sit there and I do my hair or do anything that I probably didn't do on Saturday because I had plans. But sometimes I don't even feel like doing shit on Saturday. So, and then still in my mind, Sunday's a reset day. So I try not to make plans that will bleed so deep into the evening that'll interfere with me getting ready for the next day. And I'm kind of tired of being stuck in that loop of 9 to 5, 1 day of freedom, and 1 day of preparation before I have to go back and do it all over again. And it feels never ending. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't understand what's up with this constant need to be filling every single gap of your day in. Like grind culture, hustle culture, I fuck with it to a certain extent. Like I fuck with, getting to the bag, obviously. I fuck with keeping yourself occupied, but I don't think you should saturate all your time with work and just like the basic things that we have to do to get through the day. That shouldn't be all we're doing with our day. I started going to therapy a while ago, but I got a new therapist. And this new therapist has asked me like what's two good things and one not so good thing that's happened to you within the past week. And that really put into perspective that I don't really sit there and think about the good things that happen throughout the week. Because obviously it's easier to sit there and harp on the negative things or things that didn't go your way throughout the week. But every once in a while there will be a highlight in my week, I do weekly sessions. So to sit there and have to reflect on what were two good things that happened to me this week. And most of the time my weeks look the same. So I've been trying to be intentional and doing things that make me happy throughout the day, or if I can't, because sometimes that's just not possible based on how my schedule is looking, but trying to do things that make me happy, like buying myself something or going somewhere that I haven't gone in a while or ever. Just trying to put a little bit joy into my routine, because I feel like I'm someone that definitely needs a routine. So I don't want to sit there and say, fuck the routine, fuck the 9 to 5, because I'm sure a lot of people need routine and need structure. I'm definitely a person that needs that. But I would like to have my routine, but also add things periodically that shake shit up, like incorporate things. And not necessarily like just going out to the club or going out with my homegirls, even just doing things for myself. Like last week, when I post this, it won't be last week, but I went to the Raven Lenae concert at Terminal 5, and that's something I put on my calendar a while back, but I knew I had work the next day, or so I thought. I thought I had work the next day, so I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make that work, because it started around the time where I'd be settling down to go to sleep, to go to work the next day. And so initially I was like, maybe I'll just risk losing sleep and go. But I don't sleep enough as it is, so I didn't think that was a great idea. But come to find out, I didn't have work the next day. And I found that out maybe like 2 days before the concert, 3 days before the concert. I was like, oh, shoot, I could go to the concert. But it wasn't something that I had planned on really going to, because in my mind I was like, I'm not going. Like from the time she announced it, I was like, oh, I'm not going. But I went anyway. And normally on that day it was a Sunday night, but because I didn't have work the next day, I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And I went and I had a ball. And I went by myself. That was my first time going to a concert by myself. I haven't went to a lot of concerts. My first real concert experience was to see Cowboy Carter, and that was great. And I went with my best friend, but this was my first concert experience where I went by myself, and it wasn't a super long, drawn out production, but I had a ball, and I liked that I went, because I was sitting here thinking and overthinking if I should even go, because it's not something I initially planned to do. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna shake it up and just go. And I just got ready and went and bought a ticket at the box office the day of the show, right before it started. And I had a good old time by myself. But yes, I want to start being more intentional about introducing new or spontaneous or fun experiences into my routine. Back to people crashing out on social media about the 9 to 5 and how we're kind of just conditioned to just go to work every day and pay bills and buy groceries, pay for groceries, paying for shit that should be free, mind you. But yeah, having to constantly pay for things, pay for bills. I feel like the first comes up like this. The first comes up so fast. I anticipate the first coming up all month long. And then I have other things in between the first and the 30th or the 31st that I have to pay for. I have subscriptions or I have other like bills or something that will come up that don't just come up on the first. But it's like this constant nagging feeling of, oh, you have shit to pay for. Oh, this money is about to leave your account. Like, ugh. I don't like it. It feels exhausting. It's exhausting talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it, but we're going to talk about it because I think it's important. And I think it's something that everyone is really feeling right now. I think we've always felt it, or since we've started paying bills and really started adulting, but I've noticed it being a constant topic online. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're all feeling it at the same damn time. But I think it's great that a lot of people are coming out and talking about it and really putting it into perspective. Like, oh shit, this is really all we do? Is this all that's out there? This is all that life is for real? Just paying bills and buying groceries and going to work and that's it? I don't think that's true. But that seems to be the reality for a lot of us. I feel like we're all stuck in survival mode or autopilot. Like it's just do this. And it's really, I used to make it a goal to be like, just make it through the end of the day. Like just make it to the end of the workday. Just make it till you get home. And obviously I'm very grateful to make it to the end of the day and make it home every day. But that would be like my highest goal for the entire day. Like, let's just make it to the end of the day. And so I feel like I've really, especially since graduating college, I've been stuck in survival mode, like making sure I have money, making sure I have money to pay my student loans back, making sure I have money to pay my bills, making sure I have money to contribute to my household, making sure I have money to buy groceries, making sure I have money in my pockets, in my savings, money to even just do things that I want to do, because there's a lot of things that I want to do, but sometimes I can't do them because I have to save or I have to spend money on other priorities. And it shouldn't just be work. And then the cost of living versus how much most of us are making don't even add up, and it doesn't make any sense. Why am I making $20 an hour? I'm not making $20 an hour, but I'm using this as an example. Why am I making $20 an hour? And that's not enough to pay even half my bills. That doesn't make any sense. And so I have to find a job. Obviously, you want to make more money. That's the goal eventually, to not be sitting here living at the minimum wage. But the minimum wage still doesn't even make it past the bare minimum of responsibilities as an adult. You can't pay shit. You can barely pay for shit with a minimum wage job. Let's be real. I think the minimum wage is it $20 now? I don't remember. The last time I was working and I was getting minimum wage, I think I was making like 16 or something like that. But that don't pay for shit. That used to be pocket change, and I used to just go out and have fun with it, or go out to eat with it, or do whatever, because I was in school and I needed money in my pockets. But you can't do shit with the working wage. You can't do anything with it. It's not livable. It's not. And so you have to sit there and overwork yourself, or basically kill yourself working more than one job just to make enough money to pay all your bills, or just to have a life outside of just work. There's a girl going viral right now, and I could not find the video, so I can't make the reference. But if I find it, I will be posting it on my stories. There's a girl, she broke down how many hours a week she works and her like daily schedule to pay for school, because she's in school, so she needs to pay her tuition, pay her bills and housing. This girl basically works 20 hours a day. She has like, I think like 3 hours to herself in between both jobs. I was like, how does that work? You got to go home, shower, and get ready for the next job. You can't even sleep in those 3 hours. And if you do, then it's like, still, you're not doing something. You're either not sleeping or you're not showering because you just work 20 hours, or vice versa. Something is not being done. Either way, all your needs, because those are needs, are not being met. Why the hell do you have to sit there and work 20-hour days just to afford tuition? It shouldn't be like that. That makes no sense. We shouldn't have to work and grind and hustle this hard just to do the bare minimum of things that I feel like should be a right for everyone. It should be a right for you to be able to afford your rent without having to work more than one job. It should be a right for you not to have to work 20 hours out of the 24 hours that we're given every day to be able to afford to stay in school. It shouldn't be like that. But yeah, that's something I've definitely been talking to my therapist about. And a song that kind of reminds me of everything I just sat here and yapped about is the song Bloom by Doechii. And she just sat there and spit it the same way that I did. Like, I have to work on myself. I have to do this. I have to check in on my mom. I have to check in on my friends. I have to go to work. I have to make a living. And I have to still, take time to myself. That's a lot to do, to sit there and focus on work, focus on surviving and living and having money in your pockets, having a roof over your head, having food in your fridge, having food in your stomach. And then obviously you have external things that are outside of your control, like your relationships with other people. I mean, you can control those things, but like things that may occur that you didn't foresee, like family drama, friend drama, conflict at work, like things that aren't on the list of things that will naturally just be there, will pop up. Things pop up. Shit just happens. So having to navigate the shit that is just choosing to happen on top of everything that you actually have to do to survive is exhausting. Hustle and grind culture has definitely been super glorified. I think it's always been kind of glorified, especially since like, maybe not since the beginning of time, but, for generations. Like, I know a lot of Black Americans, and as a Caribbean American, specifically, our parents and our grandparents instill in us not to be lazy. Like, we should always be doing something. On Saturday mornings, we should be getting up and cleaning the house, or on Sunday mornings, depending on how your family is. But yeah, like weekends are for sitting there and resetting and cleaning the house, which is fine. But I know like my mom personally, like always made it a point to keep me and my sister busy. Like she doesn't want us to just sit around. And she's not a person that just sits around. Like she's busy herself. She'll always be in the gym. She'll always be at a workshop. She's always taking my sister somewhere. Now I'm grown, so she's not taking me to the workshop she would take my sister to. But growing up, she would constantly keep me somewhere. We go to the bookstore. We go shopping. We go, like, she just makes sure we always had something to do, so we weren't just stuck in the house. But hustle and grind culture, especially now, social media, where people are showing like a day in my life, and it's like them going to work all day, and then they're going to the gym, or they're going to the gym before they go to work, and then they're going to the gym after work, and then they're going grocery shopping, and then they're doing their second job, and then they're getting ready and walking their dog, and they're getting ready to go to bed. And Or they'll sit there and show like a day off, but it's them doing mad shit from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm exhausted watching this. Yes, it can be empowering to see people get into the bag like that and hustling, but I think it's starting to become a little unhealthy. Like, someone posted the other day, like, even if you feel tired, you should still keep going. And I'm like, no, it's okay to rest. It's totally okay to rest. You shouldn't push yourself till you're exhausted. I don't understand why people feel the need to do that. I used to do that. I used to push myself till I was exhausted or burnt out. But I noticed when I would push myself till I was burnt out, I wouldn't want to do anything for a while after that. Like, if I pushed myself and burnt myself out to the end of the day, I don't want to do shit for the next 2 days, which now delays anything else that I plan on maybe doing the next day or the next 2 days. So now, because I didn't do anything for 2 days, I'm going to push myself to make up for the fact that I didn't do anything for 2 days, which again repeats the cycle of me burning myself out. I'm learning that it is okay to just be still and not have to fill in every single little space or empty space in my schedule and have time to myself or have time to do the things that I want or just to be still. Like, I don't have to constantly be moving. You know, as I was growing up, because I was always being told I had to have a busy schedule, like I was always put in sports or some sort of after school because my mom just didn't want me to not be doing nothing. And I kind of kept up with that until I got older, and I was like, I don't want to do that shit. Like, I don't want to fill up my schedule. I don't want to go here. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to. Like, now the things that fill up most of my time are work and this. I spend a lot of time doing this. But even in this, I have my schedule planned out for the next few months with this. But there were days where I had recording scheduled and I decided, actually, I think I'm going to just stay home. I'm going to stay home tomorrow. I'm not going in tomorrow. And I wouldn't completely neglect it and not just do anything because I didn't go to record that day. But I made it a point to just sit with myself, relax, and not feel the need to be constantly moving. I enjoy working on TMOGZ. So it doesn't feel like a chore or a job to me, but it is a lot of work. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. But I've decided to start being more intentional with taking time for myself and doing a little bit more self-care. And that looks different depending on the day or what's going on. But like today, my self-care was me choosing to do my hair in a cute style, put on lip gloss, do my eyebrows, but put on a comfy sweater because I want to be comfortable in my space when I'm recording. And not put on a full fit, even though y'all see me from the waist up. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was what me time looked like for me today. And I sat there and I listened to my R&B playlist and I took my time getting ready and I didn't feel rushed. And up until the point where I sat there and pressed record, I was chilling. And I was like, oh yeah, I should feel like this all the time. That's why I was like, yeah, I'm having a pretty chill day. I'm having a really good day. Can't lie. But yeah, I constantly feel the need to be moving. But I'm learning that it's okay to be still and it's okay to just take time to myself. Another thing that I wanted to touch up on was the topic of rest versus avoidance. Because I'm someone that loves a good nap. I don't take as many as I once did, but I love taking naps when I do have the opportunity to take one. Now when I take a nap because I need to reset, or I need time to myself, or I just need to not do anything. In the past, or sometimes I'm just exhausted and I just need that nap. I need to refresh. But in the past, I feel like I would use naps as a way to avoid my responsibilities. I don't feel like cleaning up right now. I don't feel like folding laundry right now. I don't feel like doing my homework right now. I'm going to take a nap. Obviously, as I got older, I stopped using naps to avoid my responsibilities, but I also started using me being busy and filling my schedule with things to do to avoid being still and not doing anything. I think growing up in a Caribbean household, especially, you're being told all the time that you're lazy if you're not doing something. You're just going to sit there. You're just going to lay there. You're not going to do anything. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to go for a walk. You don't have any work to do. Nothing. No, I just want to be here. I just want to lay here. I just want to watch TV. I don't understand why that's a crime. But growing up, I believed like if I wasn't doing something, I was lazy. Sometimes I just didn't care and I just wanted to be lazy. I just wanted to rest. I didn't want to do anything. But now I don't see me doing nothing as me being lazy now. Most of the times if I'm not actively doing something and I'm like sitting in my room, I'm probably just thinking, reflecting, and just thinking about different things without like the outside distractions of like me scrolling on my phone or me listening to music or me talking to someone. I saw a video yesterday of a girl. She did, I think she called it a social experiment. She put a timer on for 15 minutes to see what it felt like to do nothing and sit in stillness for 15 minutes. She looked like she was struggling. But she was trying not to be on her phone, not read a book, not be distracted, just be. And I think that's really important, to just be okay with being still. And there's so much that you notice once you actually sit still. Sometimes when I'm sitting still, I notice how anxious I was feeling before I sat still. Sometimes I don't notice it right away. Sometimes it creeps up on me into the point where I'm like overwhelmed. But when I am overwhelmed, I usually decide to sit still, and it helps me calm down, let my brain calm down, let the noise in my brain just calm down, and the external noise, because sometimes I'm overwhelmed and overstimulated by what's going on around me, what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, just my environment. And sometimes I just need to be and just sit still and not hear anything. Sometimes I can drown out the noise with music or distract myself, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I've learned to just close my eyes and breathe and be by myself. And I found it to be very helpful. I think a lot of us need to just learn to be still. And you're not lazy for not wanting to do something in that moment. You're not lazy for not wanting to go to that event because you just can't do it today. It's okay to take time to yourself. It's also very important to listen to what your body is telling you. Because I think we're so used to moving that sometimes we don't notice when our body is telling us to calm down. And so the word for today is enough. You've done enough. It's okay to acknowledge, like, you know what? I did enough for today, or I did enough this week. I don't need to add anything else to my schedule for the day or for the week. It's okay. You don't have to go to that event because you thought it would be something that you'd be really into. I mean, you can if you feel like that's an opportunity you definitely don't want to miss. But if you're mentally not up for it, that's cool too. You can sit home and take time to yourself. And it's okay to miss out on things. You don't have to go to every single thing because you fear that you're going to miss out on something. It's okay to take time to yourself. And if you feel like, you know what, it's not going to do me any good to go to this event. I'm really at my limit for the week. I'm not into it. I'm good. You can say no. It's okay. And I've been learning to be okay with saying no as well. Because of course I want to go out and have fun with my friends and family, and I don't want to miss out on everything, but I found it very necessary to say no at times because I'm like, when I realize, oh shoot, this event is happening right now, I used to feel this sense of, damn, I'm missing it. But now I'm like, you know what? I feel really good. I'm glad I'm at home right now. I feel great. I'm perfectly happy that I didn't go to that event today. Yes, it would have been fun, but I'm happy that I'm safe in my bed, in my space, and I don't have to interact with anyone else right now or anyone that I don't want to interact with. So yes, I'm happy that I said no and I didn't go out. That doesn't mean stop inviting me to things, but sometimes I just need time to myself and I just can't do it. Going back to, being more fun and choosing things that make me happy and going to experiences or doing things that I genuinely enjoy that aren't on my regularly set routine, that aren't a part of my regularly set routine. I think I also got really comfortable with my routine and my schedule and just being a homebody because I, at one point, felt like every time I stepped outside the house or did something that wasn't originally that wasn't a part of my plans, that's not in my normal set routine, I would find myself in situations or there would be drama that would occur. And I'm like, see, this is why I don't leave the fucking house. This is why I don't go no fucking where. And so I stopped going places. I stopped going to parties. I stopped going out. I stopped having experiences because I was like, you know what? To avoid the drama, I'm just not going to go. But I think I started to feel that FOMO of I'm missing out on a lot. Like I'm halfway through my 20s and I don't think I've partied enough. I've had fun at a good number of parties, but I don't think I've partied enough. I didn't party enough in my teens. I didn't party enough in my 20s. And I still have time, so I will be doing so. But I didn't party enough in my 20s. I didn't go to the club. Club is a hit or miss for me. I think it depends on the space. But I missed out on a lot of concerts. There were times where I had tickets to see people that I really, really wanted to see. Like years ago, I went to see Summer Walker and I gave my tickets away. I was going through stuff. So that was a time where I decided that's enough. Like I just don't need to be in a space but my own right now. But yeah, I felt like I was missing out on a lot of things and a lot of experiences. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of not going anywhere. Um, sometimes it's a little exhausting for me to think about all the social events I might have to go to, but I'm usually pretty happy once I go. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop missing out on things. I'm just gonna start doing shit, whether someone wants to go with me or not. Because that was another thing. I started missing out on a lot of things because I had no one to go with me to those events or experiences that I wanted to go to. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna start doing shit by myself. If someone wants to go, they can come along with me, but whether they choose to go or not, I'm going still. So like the concert that I went to uh last week, or I just signed up for something today to go to by myself. I didn't even think to ask anyone. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this by myself because I know this is something I would be into. I don't know anyone else that'd be as into it as I would be, but I'm gonna go by myself and I'm gonna have a good time. I used to say that I was bored, and I think that in my mind, I used to say I was bored a lot as a teenager. And I feel like God has a funny sense of humor, and he would be like, "You're bored? Oh yeah." And he would give me some sort of situation to be in or some sort of drama. To be like, how bored can you be if this shit is happening to you right now? You know what I mean? So I stopped saying I was bored, and I choose to just be grateful with what's going on in the present moment. So I don't think I've said I'm bored in a very long time. Because I felt like that was what was attributing to me being in like sticky situations. And that might not necessarily be true, but that's how I felt. So because I felt those two things were connected, I was choosing to avoid drama at all costs. And I'm not saying I'm bored. I'm good. I don't need the drama. I don't want that funky, wonky experience to happen. Things are supposed to happen when they're supposed to happen, of course. But I feel like because I was constantly saying I was bored, that these things were happening. Because it's like, you can't be bored if shit is happening to you. So I think that contributed a lot to me also not going out as much as I once did. But like I said, I will be holding myself accountable to being more present and to go experience things, whether I have someone to do them with or not. And I'm also in this place in my life right now where I'm choosing to redefine what self-care looks like for me right now. I talked about it earlier about me choosing to put on comfortable clothes and choosing to do my hair in a style that made me feel cute and do my eyebrows and put on my lip gloss. And that is self-care for me. It doesn't always look like eye masks and going to the spa. And it can look like that for some people. And sometimes it does look like that for me, where I just sit there and do my skincare and, take time to myself, or I will go to the spa. But right now, for me, it also looks like me putting on a good Netflix show, putting on a good podcast, playing an album that I've been dying to listen to, drawing, reading, doing my nails, just picking up like a hobby and starting a hobby that I might not have done in a long time or ever done. Like recently I started drawing and creating art again, which I haven't done since I was I think the last time I did that was the pandemic, like the middle of the pandemic, 2020. And before that, I was in high school. And so taking time for myself and doing my self-care, drawing, or I just bought a bunch of nail supplies because I wanted to learn how to do my own nails. So learning how to do that, because it's not as easy of a process as I thought it would be, because I watch 1,000 videos online and it's not that easy. But that's what self-care looks like for me right now, like taking time to like focus on hobbies and doing things that I genuinely enjoy. And so I'm hoping that you guys, after watching this today, will be sure to tap into like some things that you haven't done in a long time that you love or used to love and maybe want to revisit, or explore new hobbies and new things that you've always wanted to do or might have just thought about it like that'd be cool. So we're wrapping up on today's episode, but before we go, y'all know I gotta ask y'all a question. I always got a question for y'all. I always got a question in general, but today's question is, what's something you've recently done for the plot or something you did to just shake shit up? It could be good, like it shook it up in the best way or the worst way, or the craziest way, but feel free to comment down below wherever you're listening or watching. And if you don't feel comfortable doing so there, you guys can always DM me. My DMs are always open for y'all. But yeah, that's all for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed today's topic, please be sure to keep up with me and the podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me at Rai Rozay and follow the podcast page at TMOGZ podcast. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Be on the lookout for all new episodes. We're coming at you every other Tuesday with new episodes of TMOGZ. And yeah, I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of y'all day. And yeah, see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.